hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. It is, and I'm not kidding, it is January 31st. It means that we are exactly 1 month in January transfer window, and Arsenal still have done, well, nothing, to say the least. Let's be real. We have allegedly put in bid for Watkins, but this screams like we did a bid for Lemar like 7-8 years ago, when we put like 90 million bid in for him and all that stuff. So it looks like we tried and everything and all that jazz. We have still 3 days left. Obviously, tomorrow we have training. The day after tomorrow, on Sunday, we play the game. So Arsenal most likely are not going to do anything then, because on weekends we tend to basically chill and relax. So that means that only on Monday we are gonna try and do something. And to make it all worse, a few hours ago Fabrizio Romano announced that Man City are signing another player. Yes, they are signing a Spanish midfielder from Porto. I forgot his name on top of my head, but they have made their 4th signing, whilst Arsenal, well, we can only dream to being actually putting in bid for. We haven't made 3 bids this transfer window. Some teams have signed 4 or 5 players, so I guess this is where we are at the moment. So anyways, we're gonna talk about all that stuff, transfers, everything, because we are 1 month in and we have done jack shit, let's be real. So if you're new around here, of course, smash thumbs up, subscribe, do that, all those good things. Leave your thoughts down in the live chat, gonna tackle them easily straight away pretty much as soon as we get to them and all that stuff. And of course, if you're watching this as a playback, leave your thoughts down below. Anyhow, we're gonna kick things off with the usual suspect, and that is Ollie Watkins. Apparently, Ollie Watkins would be open to joining Arsenal this month still, but Aston Villa are determined to keep him. Anyways, no matter how you look at it, it's not looking too serious. Yeah, Nypan rejected us, what an L, we're gonna talk about that. Bro, I feel ashamed of Arsenal, they're disgrace, all that negotiation just to get rejected. Rejected City on Sunday, it's personal, we need 3-4 signings. Exactly, City have made 4 signings to this day now. And there's big chance that some of them actually gonna play against us, as bad as it is. And you damn Kroenke and disgraceful owners, window shutting less than a week, no signings, you all should. That's the biggest thing. Is it on Kroenke's or is it on Mikel Arteta? Because we have seen both sides. We actually were saying that Kroenke's need to give some more money. At the same time, we have seen Arsenal putting allegedly in bids for, we got told about Zubimendi, we got told about Watkins and all that stuff. So technically, actually, we have the money. So is it on Arteta that we are not spending? Or is it on actually on Kroenke's that we don't have the money? I think it's something in between. And exactly, we are not serious. Thank you, Nico Gonzalez. That's the Spanish guy. Man City have signed today. That's the 4th signing this transfer window. They have signed 2 youngsters, one Kusanov, the Brazilian guy. They have signed also Marmoush and now Nico Gonzalez. They are moving like a proper team. They, by the looks of things, actually gonna finish 2nd instead of Arsenal this year, by the looks of, at least looking at this right now. Look at the first comment under Watkins' tweet. He has more chances of winning a trophy at Villa than at Arsenal. And to be honest, wouldn't put that past him. Wouldn't put past that. Because we all know that Unai Emery is a very typical cup coach, right? So he has won 3 times in a row Europa League with Sevilla. He has done it with Villarreal and everything. He tends to do good in cup competitions, and specifically Europa League, if we look at the track record. So the big question is there actually a chance that Villa are gonna win something before Arsenal? By the looks of things, there is, let's be real. Given that how Villa are spending, they're signing, they're selling, they're moving in the market, they're getting rid of the deadwood, they're signing some players. And on top of all that, Emery is actually a good coach, let's be real. Whether you like him or not, Emery actually is a good coach, so there's a big chance they're gonna sign him, do something before us. At Arsenal, it is January window shopping. Teta has wasted all the money. It goes, I think it goes both ways. Kroenke's have give Mikel Arteta 750 million, 800 million to spend. He hasn't, well, almost has done nothing with it, let's be real. So at the end of the day, I can see why they would be reluctant to give him any money. On the other hand, to be honest, We have seen that apparently we put in money for Zubimendi. We wanted him to join now, but he wants to stay there until the end of the season. At least Sociedad does. So that showed that we have at least 50 million. So on that regard, if we look at it from that point of view, we have the money. So that means we are reluctant to spend it. We are looking for the perfect player. Arteta preaches every single goddamn transfer window that we are looking for opportunistic signings, chances to sign something unique and special. Well then, Kvaratskhelia was there. Osimhen is available. Most of the players are available. Yet we are not doing anything. We have missed every single opportunistic signing there has ever been under Mikel Arteta's regime in transfer windows. Yet he keeps saying that we are looking for opportunities. To be honest, this market, Kvaratskhelia, was arguably one of the biggest opportunities you could have gotten to sign a left winger. Since you wanted to replace Martinelli with Mudryk at first, you want Nico Williams, so it's evident that you don't trust nor Trossard, who actually has done somewhat decently overall if you look at the time at Arsenal, and Martinelli. So Kvaratskhelia was your cop-out. He was the guy. Why? Why we haven't signed anyone then? Eto as well. We have Edu's notepad, literally a backup dancer for Edu, not signing anyone. It just shows how big of a thing, how big of a say Arteta has in these transfers. So that just leads me to believe that, well, it's not all on Edu, it's also on Arteta. And the fact that our talent ID is non-existent, it kind of makes me think that all the scouts Edu fired, has sacked, are actually not doing anything right now. It's basically why we are where we are. And without no sporting director, a proper sporting director, to some extent, are we surprised we are not signing anyone? Because we don't have anyone to lead the deals, make contacts, have a pool. We have none of that. Let's be real. If we look like, does Mikel Arteta actually have any proper pool in terms of making players interested? We all the time hear Arteta is on fire for this guy. Arteta was key negotiator in the deal. The player got sold on Arteta's project and everything. But if we look at the players we have signed, they are all mediocre players. None of them are the so-called world-class players we got promised by Kroenke in 2006 when we moved to Emirates, in 2018 when they bought Arsenal fully, and when we got into Champions League. Oh, we need Champions League to sign world-class players. Oh, if we really need Champions League to sign world-class players, where the fuck are they? Where the hell are they? Actually, like, serious talk. Where are all these world-class players you promised us? Like, seriously. Big up TKA, big up my guy. They are still in FA Cup. Exactly. They can win FA Cup. There's a big chance Aston Villa potentially could win a trophy before Arsenal. Wives FC back in full force. Yeah, Linked FC, Wives FC, and 50 cent settings. Window shopper, mad at me. I think I know why. Arsenal's a window shopper. And all that stuff. All day long. All day long. Arteta didn't waste the money. We had 100 plus to spend this season alone. We had. The big question is, as much as this argument is very, very weird, but did we have the money? Or was it we need to sell to buy? Because we signed 2 players in summer. The so-called 7-8 out of 10 window, as the top gunners were calling it. But we sold 2 players. We sold Nketiah, we sold Emil Smith-Rowe, and they all funded basically Calafiori, and they funded Merino. And if we look at the teams Arteta has fielded most of the time, he signed Calafiori, he signed Merino, Neto, and Sterling. And in the recent games, especially, none of them have started. Skelly starts instead of Calafiori, Rice starts instead of Merino, Sterling, well, he's non-existent, let's be real, and Neto, let's be real, the game against Girona was his first game. So this is the so-called 7-8 out of 10 window we got told at the end of the summer. Like, what the hell is this all about? Is this club even serious about getting top 4? Because it feels like Stan is calling up Josh, like, yo Josh, talk to Mikel, see what's happening at England. Josh calls Arteta. Yo, what's happening? What's up, bro? Oh, we squeezing the lemons, guys. Scooping wins poop, guys. Then we pour it all together, guys. And we are in Champions League, guys. We are in top 4 and it's looking very good. Okay, all done. Then Josh calls back, Stan says, well, they are in Champions League. Everything's fine. We're gonna get our money. That's at the end of the day, that's what it looks like. They don't care about winning. Didn't Stan said the same thing. Stan when said, I didn't buy Arsenal to win trophies. Wenger said top 4 is like a trophy. And these two things are basically like tails dragging Arsenal throughout the whole time. We get top 4, everyone's happy. Genuinely. That's the mad part for me. Everyone's happy with top 4. Yet last year before that, said Arsenal are in prime position to win the league when City fall off. City have fallen off this season. They are nowhere near the City they were. Are we on top of the table? We are nowhere near the top of the table. Like, all of the arguments, all the goalposts, top Gunners want to move, left, right, front, left, center, backwards, forwards, all that, it has come moot point. Because at the end of the day, every single argument they had has been nullified now. Next thing they say, oh, give him time, he needs a striker. Does he really? Because to some extent, to a very big extent, I am at a point where I'm sitting here and thinking, do I even want Arteta getting any more money? Looking at his track record of signing 30 plus players for his 800 plus million spent, and 90% of them have been failures at the end of the day. They have been massive failures at Arsenal. Bro didn't even get a chance to waste it. Arteta and his boss are never serious. They like late things and layer nonsense. Exactly. And the word big up Hagai as well. But the big thing is, I can see us signing Rashford. I genuinely can. And the worst part is, we all know we cannot get him on loan, which means it has to be a full-time deal. Unless he goes to Barcelona, although it looks like Barcelona have the PSR issues, and it's not gonna happen at the end of the day. So that means Arsenal are gonna buy him. And since Emery has said he rather plays a 62-year-old goalkeeping coach instead of Rashford, he doesn't talk to Rashford one-on-one. He only addresses team as a whole. He doesn't speak to Rashford at all in private. That can only mean one thing. He's gonna be available for cut price deal. And we all know Arsenal love a bargain. They love to sign other teams' rejects at the end of the day. And it is what it is. Even though Rashford doesn't scream Mikel Arteta's player whatsoever. Because he has an attitude, Arteta doesn't like that. He doesn't track back, Arteta doesn't like that. He's a wild card when going forwards, Arteta doesn't like that. However, he can play striker and left wing. Arteta loves that though. And he's we are shelter. We can rescue this puppy and give him a new home. That is what is happening here. There's a big chance something like that is gonna happen. And that's what's very worrying at the moment. Arteta doesn't think he can upgrade on Havertz. I think Havertz is his adopted child or something. Cheap quick signing, João Pedro, Nico Williams, Cherky. João Pedro would go for about 60-70 million, Nico Williams about 56-55. It's not that cheap, but I get your point. No, none. No signings, G-Star. Big up G-Star, by the way. No signings made. And it doesn't look like we're gonna make any, by the way. No signings, exactly. As Marlon is saying, no signings, January 31st, and it's looking worse and worse by the minute. Because Arsenal don't tend to do business on weekends. Plus, we have a game on the weekend. So most likely, we are not gonna do anything. Of course, on top of all the things, yesterday we released new merch, by the way. You've seen that? The vintage terrace merch or something like that. Anyone gonna get some? Anyone? Anyone? The best chance of us getting anyone, in my opinion, is on Monday, on the deadline day. And that is gonna be panic settings, if we're gonna get anyone. Because so far, even 18-year-old Nypan has said screw you. and he's not signing for Arsenal. Make it make sense. Genuinely make it make sense. Kroenke out, and I fully understand and back this. Kroenke is out. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been sitting on numerous streams, podcasts, and everyone. If Arsenal don't do proper business by January 31st, signing proper players, the banners are starting to come out. I'm generally saying the protests, riots, banners, everything slowly is being prepared, just like it was in the last few years under Arsene Wenger. Same thing, same scenarios. People already fighting each other in the Emirates Stadium, Arteta in versus Arteta out. But I'm seeing there are already talks about banners and everything. It's gonna be peak. At some point, we're gonna go back to 2014, 2015, and all those days. Kroenke out there, everyone out. This guy really thinks I'm defending. Dude, one thing, TKA is never defending Arteta. At the end of the day, never defending Arteta, never defending Kroenke's. And let's be real, he's calling it spade per spade. He's not calling spade a heart or whatever. He's calling a spade per spade. He says it as it is, and let's be real, he's speaking facts every single time when he speaks. And to be honest, he has ruffled some feathers with certain people as well when he has told them, because many people can't handle the truth. Let's just put it that way. Arteta has not been given any more money as has mismanaged the funds in previous windows. He has mismanaged. Of 800 million spent, 800 million spent, you have spent only 150 on attack. In 5 years, that's 30 million a year, basically. And then you have spunked about 300 on defense, like 120 on left backs on loan, by the way, when you end up playing a Haaland graduate for free as a left back, or Timber, who's a right back at left back, which forces you to play Partey as a right back. This is genuinely doing some weird Sudoku crossword puzzles. Yeah, TK is cool. I know what he meant. TK is cool. Don't worry, Pepper. Oh no, they never. Arteta out, Kroenke is out, all that stuff. Everyone out. Everyone. Zinchenko, Win the Dog, Ato, Luis, Garlic, all of them. All of them out. Simple. Yeah, I am at the point where unless we sign a top player like Gyökeres, right? Like, I would say Osimhen, Isak, like top of the top player. Don't give him a single penny, make him see this season out, and when inevitably he wins nothing, of course, sack him. That's where I am at the moment with Mikel Arteta. That is the biggest thing where I am at the moment with Mikel Arteta. Because the money he has spunked in all the wrong areas to some extent, like, it's actually kind of wild. It is actually worrying, to say the least. I don't know why. Big up Kwame, big up. Man, Arteta, just pack your bags and get out. Yep. Arteta should step down if he fails to deliver. He should. He genuinely should. But will he? Let's be real, he won't. 15 million a year. Would you resign on your own terms? Because if you get sacked, the club is forced to pay the money out for the remaining of the contract. If you resign yourself, it's technically on mutual consent. And the club doesn't have to pay you anything. And if you get 15 million a year, you have 2 years left on your contract, that's 30 million. Why would you quit yourself? I understand if you're self-respecting and stuff like that, but this is his biggest pay he's ever gonna get, arguably. Why would he go on his own terms? Why? He should have been sacked from he bought the league last season. True, he said himself he contemplated leaving Arsenal when he balled the 8-point lead. And the worst part is, to many extents, he has balled the league 2 times, and the top Gunners have the nerve to hold him on the same standards they held Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger at least had the cash. He can back his talk. He can walk the walk and talk the talk. He can do both. Arteta can barely walk the walk. He can talk the talk because he waffles a lot, but he definitely cannot walk the walk. Wenger can do both. He had cachet, he had backup, he had trophies, he had everything. He had everything in the club. And even then, in his latter years, the club was in a very bad place. We were punching each other up, well, the fans in Emirates and everything. And we are now at the same point with Mikel Arteta. Nothing has changed. We have fast forwarded literally 8 years into the future from the time Wenger left, and we are at the same spot, by the way. Because fans are pissed off, smaller portion because Top Gunners with the PR, it's actually kind of nuts, but I'm not going to get into that. On top of that, the club is getting top 4, just like Wenger did. We are winning less trophies. That's obviously a fact. We have subpar players, mediocre players who barely would get into teams of mid-table teams. And if that time we were paying those players too much. These players we are paying way too much. Our wage bill is through the roof if you look at the money we are paying to these players. And when Edu came into Arsenal like 2 years ago, he did an interview and said, first thing, when we came in with Mikel Arteta, we sat down and we discussed this and we came to a conclusion that there were not enough good players in the team, bench was awful, and they were overpaid, and we needed to get rid of them. Now we fast forward to today. These players are on the same quality, if not worse, on the bench. Your Kiviors, Zinchenko's and everything. And they are even more overpaid than they were at that time. So where is this evolution? Phase 5 and everything. Nothing has changed. Legitimately nothing has changed. Kroenke is for the interest of our fans. So no, exactly, but they won't. Unless you pay them like 10 billion, they won't. The waste of money is also the wages we pay these substandard players every week. Havertz on 285 grand a week is sackable offense. Exactly. And you think our 2 strikers, well, so-called strikers, right? We have Havertz and we have Jesus. Combined, they get 550,000 a week. More than $500,000 a week. We play for 2 strikers who cannot score goals, who both are not good at finishing, and one of them has said himself that scoring goals isn't his main trait. Like, make it make sense. Seriously, make it make sense overall. Yeah, bored is a joke. It's a disgrace. It's a laugh. It feels like I'm on an episode of Punk'd at the end of the day. Or Arsenal are like a social experiment of how much pain can fan base take or a person can take until they reach their breaking point. That's what it feels like being an Arsenal fan. And I kid you not, I felt like that under Arsene Wenger, and I'm partially feeling like that right now as well. It's something very similar, and I don't like it one single bit. Big up Bena, who is coming? Nobody. Simple and short, nobody is coming. I kid you not, nobody is coming. Yeah, you would think, exactly, we are not. Marlon, if you were my boss and I'm making your company lose money for gross misconduct, what would just sack instantly? Sack instantly. Arsenal are not serious. We are technically one of the biggest clubs in England, yet we move in transfer window like we are a championship team. Mind you, some championship teams, this transfer window have signed more players than Arsenal, by the way. Arteta should have been sacked for last season. Could agree to that. Spurs see the need players. What do they make the Arsenal just trying? We are spicy Spurs only to some extent. We are just Spurs in red. North London forever and all that stuff. We are spicy Spurs with just better place on the table at the moment, given our trophies and everything. Robo's the same. If I was making you lose money with your company for gross, you're big gone instantly. Instantly gone. First of all, I would see why is that, where it has gone wrong, and then I would just sack you so I don't repeat the same mistake. We can only hope. Yeah, big up TK, big up. And Watkins ain't leaving. Exactly, Watkins ain't leaving. Watkins ain't leaving, one of the most prolific strikers in Premier League currently. And to make it all worse, by the way, we can see this happening today. Nypan says Arsenal, screw you, and we cannot even sign a guy who sounds like a medicine you take when you have, I don't know, diarrhea or something. Take Nypan, and your troubles will be gone. We cannot even sign an 18-year-old. yet alone an established striker. 18-year-olds are saying, no, I'm gonna wait. I don't think Arsenal is the place for me right now. Like, we have gone to this extent. To this extent. And then to make it all worse, we are seeing this. Miguel Delaney, well, not the most trustworthy, but here it is. Semenyo is a real target for Arsenal, right? Sounds good until that point, when then you read this summer. Why is it all for summer? How about winning right now, right here, no excuses? How about that for a change? How about that for a change? Win right now with no excuses. Sign a striker. Sign a forward. Make signings that need to be made. But they cannot do that because then expectations rise. There is instantly accountability. You cannot move goalposts anymore. No excuses. Because if Arteta gets the money and he signs the players he actually needs, like strikers, wingers, midfielder, and all that stuff, and he doesn't win anything, he must go. And then Kroenkes lose their shield. And there's no guarantee, and almost non-guarantee, let's be real, that the next manager they sign is gonna be a yes man. They're gonna call them out. And there's a bigger chance that the next manager could be another job for the boys type of situation. Where Wilshere becomes the manager, Rosicki becomes the manager, Cesc Fabregas becomes the manager. And round and round and round we go. Where we land, nobody knows at the end of the day. And it genuinely could go like that for ages. Get Saudis here. And so annoying is when Arteta plays Partey at right back rather than midfield. That's the worst. He panics. He genuinely panics. He doesn't play anyone at right back besides Partey at that time. Every time Partey play right back, he loses confidence. Exactly. He got cooked by Danjuma on multiple occasions against Girona. Obviously it is what it is, but yeah. What makes the fans summer signings will be better. Exactly. They just shift focus to summer. Semenyo, Zubimendi, Sesko, and all them, man. Just focus on summer. Forget about now. Focus on summer. But how about right now? Like, seriously, how about winning right now? Always next year. It's like Patrick Evra said. Like Evra said it. Arsenal are like Netflix FC. There's always next season. Always next season. Always. And that's what's awful. If Pep was coaching Arsenal with Partey, we would have won. And that's the biggest thing. I strongly believe, right, if Pep had this Arsenal team, but Mikel Arteta had the current City team, Pep would win the league. I don't believe Arteta would win the league even with the current City team. Even with fit Rodri, by the way. They wouldn't win the league. I strongly believe that Pep would win the league with current Arsenal team. 100%. With everyone fit. Big up BBK Sports. Big up, big up, big up. Big up my guy. Go sub to BBK Sports. Top lad. Arsenal is winning Man City come Sunday. Well, I know I'm gonna talk about this tomorrow. I will have preview show is gonna be tomorrow. But bro, I'm not too convinced about that. Saka would not be... Yeah, if we had proper manager, we would have backup for Saka, for Odegaard, for Saliba. If we had proper left back, we wouldn't be doing most likely this inverted crap, which has ruined Kieran Tierney, and that's why he's leaving and everything. We actually had a proper team. Exactly. Screw summer signings. We need right now players. Exactly. Why we need to shift the attention for half a year later? How about right now? Zinchenko, left center mid. Could work, number 10 as well. Potentially try him out. Who knows? I think he will draw against City on Sunday. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. I can see that game being a draw quite easily. Every single match we get an injury and no signings. Exactly. We get injured more and more. You know what's the worst part about this? We got started linked with strikers, forwards, only when Jesus got injured. Only then. Because when Saka was out injured, we didn't see those forward rumors too much. Jesus got injured instantly. Out of nowhere, PR started to come out that we are looking for a striker. We need a striker. We are linked with a striker. Arsenal interested in a striker. So that genuinely tells me that Arsenal had no intention in signing a forward if Jesus didn't get injured. Because when Yeri would come back end of January, as he has right now, Jesus was fit, and that just tells me that we would be waiting for Bukayo Saka. We wouldn't even sign a forward at all. That's what's really bothering me. Because the way Arsenal were doing things, the way Arteta was talking press conferences before Jesus' injury and after, are two completely different things. And that just kind of makes me believe that if Jesus doesn't get this big injury, we wouldn't have even signed a forward. We wouldn't even be talking about these forwards right now. We got roasted by a midget 18-year-old. Yeah, big up Nathan. Big up my guy. Big up. You think he could have said that Madrid Barcelona? Yeah. When our link with Semenyo, just like when we call about Gyökeres release calls. Yeah, we all the time these things happen. Martinelli is staying. Nathan cannot get over the fact that we yesterday talked about a random rumor, the fact that there are some Saudi clubs interested in Martinelli and would be willing potentially to pay up to 100 million for Martinelli. Nathan cannot get over that, by the way. Osimhen, Gyökeres, Isak, Sesko, Duran, Watkins. But we know we won't buy. You forgot Vlahovic in that equation. Kolomwani was there at some point and everything. You have forgotten a few there as well. Yes, big up Steve. Arsenal need a striker. We need 3-4 players this transfer window alone. Then in summer we need extra 3-4 players. And that doesn't even include replacing the players that gonna leave in summer. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. If you say so, bro, no signings, Marmoush could have been signed, but yeah, we could have signed Marmoush as well, but no. Yeah, we cannot underestimate City. If Arteta steps down, then Allegri should take over. Maybe he would, who knows? Who knows? Spurs get injured players, youngsters come in, deliver master. Marlon wants Gasperini or no one. Nathan is a big advocate, by the way, for Gasperini. I'm just gonna tell Dad that Gasperini has won one trophy in about, 20 plus years? Something like that. Similar like Kroenke's, I think. All the clubs that Kroenke's owned besides Arsenal have won trophies in the last decade or so. A bit in the last 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, 6 years, right? But they haven't won too often overall. They won once, and then again it's a massive Sahara Desert dryout spell. So that is a big worry overall. If we even win something, will we go on a drought like they do now? He cooked October FC, and yeah, their fans always diss Arsenal. Big up the chat. Big up the chat. I haven't checked the likes and everything, but big up everyone who's watching. If you haven't liked the stream, subscribe if you're new around here. Leave your thoughts in the live chat and everything. Man, October FC got lucky. Had we linked with it? Yeah, we are linked up allegedly. Apparently we got linked with Moiskin for some weird goddamn reason. With Retzegi for some weird goddamn reason. It is what it is. Yeah, we could try go for Barcola because there were reports that Barcola has been left confused by Luis Enrique and PSG overall for the fact that they signed Kvaratskhelia for the same position. And for 70 million, I don't think you're gonna bench Kvaratskhelia. He has to start. That is the big question. Why did they sign him overall? Anyhow, moving a bit swiftly on. Let's add some insult to today's injury. In 2018, 7 years ago exactly, Arsenal completed the signing of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from Borussia Dortmund for a club record fee of £56 million. And the rest is history. He won the Golden Boot, one of the most electric strikers in the league at the time. He carried Arteta to the FA Cup trophy, and what Arteta did, bid him and fed him to the dogs and everything. Kinda miss Aubameyang, I'm not gonna lie. I think Aubameyang saw it the earliest, compared to every other player, that Arteta will not be it. Because if you look at the players Arteta predominantly has had beef with at Arsenal, are the players that have attitudes, that have egos, that strive for greatness, that have achieved something in their lives, and they are not going it for the first time. Most of the time, let's be real. Because Aubameyang, he had achievements. He was Golden Boot winning Aubameyang, by the way, he inherited and he ruined him. Lacazette was a winner. Ozil was a winner. Like, Arteta had issues with egos. And the rest of the guys he has signed, none of them have egos. They all are yes men at the end of the day. None of them are questioning what Mikel Arteta does. Pep Guardiola said it perfectly in an interview about a year ago, half a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. If I want to grow, I need to be challenged. And that means I need people and players around me that disagree at times with my decisions. Because if everyone agrees with you, quote unquote, you are looking like the smartest man in the room, there is no growth. And if you are in a room with people that already are telling you what you already know, you're never gonna grow as a person. Never gonna grow tactically. Your vision is never gonna grow. And that's what it feels like with Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. I'm not gonna lie a bit. Moise Keane. Apparently Tell is waiting for United or Arsenal. Yeah, apparently Tell has rejected 60 million option to go to Spurs. Well, Spurs. Ball it against something, but it is what it is. Cannot even laugh at Spurs these days. Because Arsenal have become everything we used to mark every single club for at the time. Remember how we used to mark Liverpool when they couldn't win the league under Brendan Rodgers? They were close. Gerrard slipped, City won the league. They always were saying this year is our year, and they always were reminiscing in the past, in 2005 Champions League final and everything. Arsenal at the moment are doing the same thing. Every season, this is our year. We are reminiscing, we make our stupid mistakes and we lose the league because of our own stupid results. We reminisce in the past of invincibles. Oh, but it's yours gold and all that stuff. And we don't even have a Champions League to reminisce about. We have become the club that we used to mock every other team about. We used to mock Spurs and Pochettino for balling the league on certain occasions. Arteta has done it 2 times as well. So technically, we are no better than Spurs under Pochettino in that regard. Karma is a bitch, and it has hit us hard in that regard because we used to mock every single club, big club, for certain things. And today we are the same club. We are in the same positions we used to mock those clubs about. Which Arsenal? This is Arteta FC. Yeah, it's Arteta. Arteta FC, might as well call it, I don't know, Arteta 8. Not Emirates. Big up me. Whoa. Big up Miko. Big up Robo, since Aubameyang and Nketiah, Arsenal have failed to replace them. Don't even care about Nketiah. We haven't replaced Aubameyang and he's been gone for 3 years. And the worst part about this is, how comes Arsenal was the only team that didn't make money on Aubameyang? Think about it. Borussia Dortmund sold it to Arsenal. They made money, 56 million, as it says there. Arsenal gave Aubameyang away for free. Even paid off the thing, right? He goes to Barcelona, wins a trophy and all that jazz. Haha, shock. Then Barcelona sell him to Chelsea. He doesn't perform well there, but then Chelsea sell him to Marseille, and then Marseille sell him to Saudi. How comes Arsenal in this equation was the only team that didn't make money on Aubameyang? This is what they're saying. This wasn't also an all for nothing where Edu was talking to, was it Garlic? I think it was Garlic. They were laughing about it and saying, well, we cannot tell Aubameyang, so we just might as well get him away for free. Everyone's laughing, everyone's happy, deal done, we got rid of him. And that's about it. Oh, ring around the rosy and all that stuff. We downgraded on Nketiah to some extent. Yeah. When Saka comes back, Barcola, Retsegi, Saka, Marston. We don't even have 2 of those players. You cannot even say that. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Dude, I miss... Imagine... The thing is, I would take Aubameyang right now at Arsenal. At striker. But Arteta would envision him most likely as a left wing. Would Aubameyang come to Arsenal to play left wing? Hell no. Because he knows half of the fucking time he will spend at left wing back. Does he want to do that at his 35 years? No, he doesn't. He wants to attack. Come on. Which striker wants to play center back half the time? Or number 6 like Lacazette used to do for Arteta. Heard we are actually linked with... Nah. Don't even try to wind people up. Just don't, Marlon. Not today. Nico Williams. Karma, what's what love? Exactly, and that's where we are. I was a big Eddie Nketiah fan. We treated him unfairly. He should have continued with our club. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. Spurs made Champions League final. Arsenal hasn't been in chance since we haven't been there since Henry was since 2006, 9. I forgot now on top of my head. Your defense in trouble with Nketiah in the room. To be honest, Arsenal conceded to Nketiah header, quite good one as well. He was sensational for me, Kwame. He cooked Man U when we thought we would beat us. Yeah, and to be honest, I wouldn't mind Nketiah currently instead of Havertz up top. I'm not gonna lie. Havertz had the time drifts wide anyways to the right and crosses the ball for a header to 5'10" Trossard had the time. Like, what's that all about? It's like it was under Arsene Wenger. Remember the days when we had Giroud up top and we were playing the ball into his feet for him to dribble? Then Giroud comes off, we sub on Theo Walcott, and instead of doing the thing we did with Giroud when we passed the ball in his feet and he can dribble and with the pace run away, we tried to cross the ball to him. We played it ass backwards. And we are doing this right now. Big up Harry, big up Obama who? Obama what? Obama blood clot young. That sounded so white, I'm very sorry. Arteta is guilty for many things. And the worst part, when was it? Let me think about this. Oh, December 19th, when Arteta had officially been here 5 years. He got an interview before a game, and one of the journalists asked him a question. Do you regret decisions you have made as the Arsenal manager? And he genuinely sat up, put out his chest, and said, I do not, and I reiterate, do not regret any decisions I have made as the Arsenal manager. He doesn't regret any decisions he has made. That just shows how arrogant he is. If you have no regrets for the way you have treated some players, the club, the decisions you have made, and you don't think that you would have done them differently, you could have gotten a different outcome, it's not looking good, let's just put it that way. Arteta thinks shit us, alright, saying we are trying, bro. Come on. Yeah, exactly, we're trying. Oh, but we tried. And that's what Arsenal is going to be all about, like we did Lemar with 80 million bid. According to TBR Football, by the way, Arsenal, Villa, and United and Spurs have all been offered Victor Boniface. Question, would you take Victor Boniface at Arsenal? Random question, you are 42 people here. Any of you would take Victor Boniface at Arsenal? For about 35-40 million or something like that. If I'm not mistaken. Would you take Victor Boniface at Arsenal? Random question for you, yo. For you lot. Would you take Victor Boniface? Marlon's not happy. Okay, G-Star would take Boniface. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of would as well. To be honest, it's very hard to be too much worse than the strikers we have right now, because one is injured and is not playing, other one misses empty net from 2 yards out. It's very hard to be much worse, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, G-Star would take Victor Boniface. According to The Guardian, random one as well, Aston Villa are considering a late bid for Wolves' 25-year-old Mateusz Cunha. They have the money, they can spend it, by the way. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did, actually. Genuinely wouldn't surprise me if they did. If that actually came to tuition. Would not surprise me a single bit. He is actually a finisher. He would play up top, he's tall, he's 6'4" or 6'3". He could get at the end of the cross, and we all know that actually Manieri can cross the ball properly, Tierney can cross the ball, so if that comes to that. Tierney has put in recent games some very great crosses, by the way. If we had a proper striker, he would have finished them. So Boniface, to some extent, would not be the worst. I don't believe that. And yes, right now I would take even Budimir from Osasuna. Dude, don't diss Budimir. He actually is somewhat good. I know he's slow, he feels like a Merino 2.0 balance-wise, and he turns like a triple-decker bus, but overall, he actually is somewhat decent finisher, from what I've seen from watch Osasuna games at times. Arteta must sign a top striker for Arsenal to progress. Exactly. We need a top player. Because I'm kind of at a point with Arteta and with these transfers in general that unless we sign a top player, you know, your Isaks and players like that, Osimhen's, I don't want to spend any money. Because even if we sign, for example, let's just say, who can we sign? We sign a Barella, for example, right? For the left number 8. He starts, so on the bench we now can have Merino. He doesn't have to start. We can play Barella, Declan Rice in the midfield in summer. If we sign a proper starting player, like a big one, our starters who are right now actually are somewhat decent to be backups. Because in my opinion, Trossard could be a decent backup and needs impact some. Same goes for Martinelli. Havertz has proven that off the bench he actually can be somewhat decent. Merino off the bench to some extent would not be the worst somehow to see the game out. We actually have some good players to be backups. The issue is we don't have good enough players to actually get us over the line, that move the needle and raise the ceiling of the team. Cunha is the same as Havertz. To some extent, yeah. To some extent, yes. Even Aston Villa have more strength in transfers than Arsenal. To be honest, they have 70 plus million from a Duran deal. So, Edwin, do you think Arteta will listen? He's stubborn man. Can't blame Arteta. It's the owners who are on the shit. They are not good enough to learn the lessons given from the league. They are new. They are new. They have been here for how long? For over a decade right now. And they count as new. That is just no. In that regard. But overall, it's on both. I understand that Arteta needs money and it's basically on Kroenke's because they don't want to improve the team. They have no ambition. But from business point of view, which Arsenal is to Kroenke's, why would you give Arteta money when he has already wasted around 750 to 800 million? He has spent maybe 200-300 million of that actually properly to players like Gabriel, maybe Partey, you could say Declan Rice, maybe those, right? But ultimately, most of the money he has wasted on Kiviors, Tomiyasus, Zinchenko's, Merino's, Fabio Vieira's, Williams, Cedric Soares's, Marquinhos, Havertz, who else is there? I'm missing Matt Ryan, Matt Turner, Runnison, who else is there? I'm missing someone. I'm genuinely missing someone else in the top of my head. Ceballos as well and stuff like that. Now, if I count this over in my head, it's actually kind of wild. Arteta is also to blame. Exactly. Arteta is to blame also for when he had the money, not investing in properly. Because there's a big difference of when you have the money, it's on how to spend it and on who you spend it. It's a big difference. Man, stop damn Arteta. Kai will get injured and Arteta will be sad. Most likely, because after Wolves game, there already are pictures and everything saying that Kai Havertz was getting medical treatment. He was on the ground, and he didn't play against. He wasn't against Girona as well, because he just joined training and everything before Girona games. He hadn't trained before, so there already are issues. The bodies are giving up. We are looking gassed on the pitch as well at times. It's not good overall. It's looking very, very bad. We need agent strike race up. Urgent strike. Yeah. We need a proper sporting director to get actually someone in, because Aito is not cutting it by the looks of things. To go out in the cups to Manchester United, a shit Manchester United and Newcastle is more than disgrace. And think about it. When we started this January transfer window 31 days ago, we were in FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Champions League and Premier League, right? If we sign a striker till the FA Cup game or Carabao Cup game like United and Newcastle, right? If we sign a proper striker, we win those games. It's definitely not a 2-0 against Newcastle, and we beat Man United because we play actually a striker instead of Havertz. Proper striker doesn't miss from 2 yards out like Havertz did. Havertz in January alone could have single-handedly been on 2-3 goals a game based on the chances he has gotten. He hits it with his shoulder because he has eyes closed and he doesn't track the ball. He scuffs a shot. He hits it straight at the keeper. He has no power in his heading and everything. He could have easily been on a hat-trick. Or 2 goals at least. At worst, 1 goal every single game. Yet he wastes so many chances that it's actually embarrassing. It's a fucking disgrace. Exactly. Arteta favors. I think Havertz is a like long lost child, or Havertz has his nudes or something. Don't hate Havertz. He had no striker. To be honest, to some extent as well. He is not striker. We cannot blame him for that. But you can blame the manager for putting him in that position. And inevitably, he will get some heat as well. Because he is the guy who's leading the line. Because we are relying on him to get us over the line. And he's just not good enough. Yet Arteta consistently persists in playing him. He doesn't try Martinelli as a number 9, ever. He doesn't try new things. He sticks to the same things he knows, and with no imagination. It's the same thing, rinse and repeat, and hope for a different result. I'm not going to apologize, but Havertz has been so lacking. Yep. Arteta hasn't signed anyone. This January, he has signed nobody. Big up John, he hasn't signed anyone. And it doesn't look like we're gonna sign anyone, by the way. I don't think it's hating Kai Havertz's man, but his performance on the match. Yeah, it's not good enough. It's basically, if you have seen, ultimately it comes down to the fact that if you have been an Arsenal fan for quite some time, you have seen Aubameyang, you have seen Van Persie, you have seen Anelka, Adebayor, Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, Ian Wright, Kevin Campbell, may he rest in peace, and everyone. You have seen proper strikers at Arsenal. You have seen how they finish, how they get us over the line. You have seen Alexis Sanchez at Arsenal. He sometimes played at striker. You have seen the guys who are proper strikers, who know how to get the job done. And then you basically are, if you kind of shift the attention from them to Havertz, it's actually embarrassing. I don't know how to describe that feeling, and when you watch it, but it's actually painful, to say the least. Tell us about transfer and forget about criticizing it. There's no transfers, that's the big thing. We talk about the transfers, we're talking about the rumors. Nypan rejected us, we talked about that. Offered Boniface, Watkins is apparently open to move. On this day today, in 2018, we signed Aubameyang, Semenyo for summer. Miguel Delaney says about Zubimendi, he wants to complete squad. Arteta wants Zubimendi, forward and a winger to complete the squad by this summer. Will it happen? Who knows? On top of all that, Unai Emery has come out and talked about Oli Watkins, and he says that Emery says Watkins is happy to stay at Villa. He's happy to stay. We ask him how he is feeling every day and year. He is being here with Villa and he is happy here. Watkins strikes me as a player who's not basically gonna stir the pot, let's just put it that way, and hand in transfer request. Let's just say it as it is. Aubameyang is not leaving. He won't want to play under Mikel Arteta as a left winger and have the time cover left wing back. He is not going to want to do that again, let's be real. I'm not saying he is Henry. Marlon, listen. The fact that we are, at least I am, so annoyed with the striker position where Havertz is playing, because I know how proper striker looks like. It's utterly Havertz is misused, and we should have signed him in the first place, let's be real. But I'm kind of pissed off and annoyed with the fact that I know what proper striker looks like. And we're playing Havertz there, and it's like day and night when you look at the situations when those players used to score from where Havertz cannot score from. And on top of that, with 800 million that Arteta has had over the years, he hasn't signed a proper striker. That's from where the frustration is coming from. But let's be real, if you're a professional footballer and you are in front of empty net from 2 yards out, you kind of expect to be scoring as well. And Havertz has missed those chances on multiple occasions during this course of the season. And that is not anymore on Arteta and Havertz being the wrong position. That already is on player himself. Because to some extent, we are relying on our defenders, Gabriel, Calafiori, Saliba, Timber, all those guys, to score goals and get us over the line. That is not good enough as well. What team is going for a title and about, 20%, something like that, what it feels like at least, goals we have scored is from defense? Like, that doesn't fly as well. Calafiori has better finishing, than not Trossard, that was wrong. Better finishing than Havertz, better finishing than Jesus, better finishing than Sterling. We saw how he finished against Girona. Pause, but you get what I mean. He used to be a left winger. He knows how to finish. Our defenders have better finishing ability than our attackers currently. And our current attack is like mid-table, lower-end table attack, at best. That's what's worrying. Marlon, we have seen our great strikers, our club, Lacazette. Okay, I won't call Lacazette great, but let's move on. And from Anelka to Van Persie, Kevin. He's playing out of position as well to some extent, but that's not an excuse. Because there are certain chances it's inexcusable in terms of missing. It's about to go down, pretty much. No striker, no trophy, more stressful fans. I kid you not, and I'm gonna say this again, that I've been on streams, I've been watching some podcasts and everything, and I already are seeing people, and streamers included, big streamers by the way, talking about banners after the transfer window. If we don't sign anyone, banners coming out about protests and everything. It's bad enough that our fan base already is starting to each other just beef alone. They are starting to punch each other up at the Emirates. Arteta ins versus Arteta outs. And it's banners time. We are in the same spot where we were with Arsene Wenger ultimately. Let's be real. Let's not kid ourselves. It happened when Arsene Wenger had the trophy drought. And we are now in a trophy drought. Half a decade. 5 years. 5 years of trophies we are missing. Trophy drought for half a decade. 5 years. And fans are getting restless currently. And that's what's causing everything. More often than more like other. And that's what's at the moment very dangerous. Yeah, we need to. Arteta has to go. If he cannot deliver, cannot get it over the line, I think it's game, set, and match for Mikel Arteta. Ultimately for me. Because he should have decency himself just to quit. Oh, by the way, Aston Villa are considering signing Marcus Rashford. Allegedly, by the way, but let's just put it as it is. On loan from Man United. 27-year-old preference Barcelona or Man United stay. So would need convincing. But Aston Villa in talks on personal request of Unai Emery himself. Emery wants Rashford. Holy crap. Now the big thing is, I don't see this happening. Because no matter how much Emery would want him, we all know that Rashford has an ego. And he's not going to a club that's the stature of Aston Villa. Even though it's a big club, I'm not taking anything away from Aston Villa. But in Rashford's mind, it's a massive downgrade. Let's just put it that way. At least that's how I see it. But I guess it is what it is. However, there could be something to it. If Villa signed Rashford, maybe we are getting Watkins. Maybe there's a possibility of that actually happening. We can look at it that way. Now, in other news, Arsenal have blocked Jorginho's January move to Flamenco, which is nice to see. To some extent. Both the player and Flamenco can negotiate a pre-contract that will Jorginho play the club in June at the Club World Cup. That's actually kind of nice for Flamenco to some extent. Matisse Tel has refused to join Spurs and talks continue with other Premier League clubs. He's waiting on United and Arsenal more specifically, allegedly. Okay, who wants to get annoyed? Who wants to get annoyed? We could look at Arteta's pre-match conference for Man City game, or we can save it tomorrow for the actual preview. Which one? I actually kind of want to keep it for tomorrow for the actual preview. If Bro signs Rashford before Arsenal makes signings, to Arteta, the whole fucking crew gonna get The thing is about this, as much as Rashford, right, is in a massive slump, he's not performing, Emery doesn't like him, doesn't want to play him, knowing Emery's track record with strikers and forwards in general, you kind of can put a bit of your money on the fact that Rashford under Unai Emery could actually bag. Can't you? Like, seriously talking. The way he has gone insane performances out of mediocre players, We had Golden Boot winning Aubameyang under Emery. Lacazette was firing. They both together were on fire. In Villarreal, everyone was balling. In Sevilla, they were balling in striker department. Now in Aston Villa as well, Duran, Watkins, everyone's balling. So there's actually an argument to be made that if Aston Villa actually sign Rashford, there's a possibility that he would actually ball out at Villa. And that's what's also very, very, very concerning, to say the least. Anyways, anything else new? United have contacted Stuttgart about Toure. Fikayo Tomori has asked for a few hours to reflect. Holy crap! Tomori could be going to Spurs. What in the actual gravy? What am I reading here? Why? Whoa. Telling the right or striker which position will tell playing. If we sign him, cause got when Yeri is cooking, he and getting job. Tell is left wing / striker, so one of the two, by the looks of things. Top Serie A cooked October. But yeah, Tomori. If Tomori goes to Spurs, holy crap! I'm not gonna lie, holy crap and a cracker. Anything else? Tottenham have reached verbal agreement worth of 30 million. 30 million only? Euros, by the way, for Fikayo Tomori. That seems hella cheap. The question is, why would you leave a big club like AC Milan to play for Spurs? That's, I think, more important question here. But for 30 million only? 30 million for Tomori, that seems genuinely hella cheap. Manchester United are pressing ahead of the deal for Tell. Anyways, let's look at what else is happening surrounding Arsenal. Arteta has interviews, Aubameyang, of course, nothing else. Let's see what Fabrizio is saying, if there's anything new in terms of transfers from Fabrizio. Casadei to Torino from Chelsea, here we go, agreement done, 15 million plus 25 sell-on clause. Al-Ali have signed Galeno for 50 million, that's quite a lot. Saint-Maximin could be going to Napoli. Saint-Maximin under Conte is an interesting one. Como agreed to sign Smolcic from Rijeka, interesting. Barco is going to Strasbourg from Brighton. Pashalic is going to Orlando City. Oh, here we go. The fourth player Man City have signed. Nico Gonzalez. Release clause worth 60 million. Barcelona have 40% sell-on clause as well. This is kinda nuts. City have signed 4 players this window. They're actually moving like a serious club. And Porto are losing players left, right and center, by the way. They have lost about 3-4 players this transfer window. Dorgu, John Drew. 77 million, fuck me. Imagine being John Duran and you play in the same team as Sadio Mane and Cristiano Ronaldo. Holy crap, to say the least. Arsenal are still in contact with Tell. So there's actually nothing happening in terms of Arsenal. There's actually no... Oh, here we go. This tweet really pissed me off. Arteta spoke in an interview about this. Arteta on transfers. We are trying everything we can. Obviously you're not if you haven't signed anyone yet and you are genuinely dragging things out like I don't know what. We have not even had a proper bid put in for anyone. How are you trying your best? Like, serious talk. I think Ethan will start on Sunday, by the way. Neymar returns to Santo before Arsenal makes signings. Yeah, that's the nuts part. Have you... Robo, you've had enough. I don't blame you. Don't. It's getting over the top to some extent, I'm not gonna lie. It's actually kinda insane to say the least. Every single transfer window. And I don't know why. Like, generally why. Can someone explain me this? I know how Arsenal operate in transfer windows most of the time, right? Especially in January transfer windows. Yet every single transfer window, I have a hope that Arsenal will sign someone. I guess they say it's the hope that kills you. I guess it's the hope that makes a peace. It's a peacemaker for a fool. I guess I'm the fool in this regard. But yeah, every single window I hope that Arsenal will do the right thing and they'll learn from their mistakes. But I would think that since I've been supporting Arsenal for over 2 decades, right? I would have learned by now, but I haven't. It's weird. It's genuinely weird. I still hope that Arsenal will do the right thing. They will learn from their mistakes. They will sign the right players. But to be honest, proof should be in the pudding. Think about it. There was a time at Arsenal when we relied on basically teenagers to save Arsenal. We did that with Cesc Fabregas. We did that with Wilshere. We did that with Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe. And now we are doing the same thing with Ethan Vanieri. Arsenal are not performing, and again we are putting all of our eggs in a teenager's basket to carry us over the line. That's how mad it is these days. We are relying on Vanieri and Skelly, 2 teenagers. We used to rely on Wilshere. We used to rely on, as I said, Cesc Fabregas, with Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe at the time. It's nuts. Because currently it feels like, remember 3.5 years ago, where Emil Smith-Rowe and Saka single-handedly saved Mikel Arteta's job to some extent, right? Currently, it feels like Ethan Vanieri is Arteta's Emil Smith-Rowe just only today. Vanieri is saving Arteta's job because he's playing that youngster, he's carrying the team, he's putting actually some proper performances, and he's getting results, he's getting goals, he's having output. And that's how it feels like, and that's very, very disconcerting. I'm gonna say that. Injury Yasu, aka Tommy Yasu, ain't even damn. Yeah, he's injured. Ben White apparently is not even training still. That's annoying. Feels that way, doesn't it? With Saka being injured, feels like Vanieri FC, because he arguably is the most exciting player to watch in Arsenal's team currently, because he's quick, direct, not afraid, and he has actually some quickness and steps in the attack. Rest of the guys play very slow, pragmatic, predictable football with no imagination. Arteta making the same subs every single game, and there is no urgency, no nothing. Same things. It takes about a minute, like 40 seconds to a minute and a half to take a corner or a free kick. We're wasting time. It's embarrassing. Sterling was diving against fucking Girona, by the way, if you recall. He got a yellow for diving. How mad is that? Even Saka himself knows it now. Exactly, Saka knows it. That's the worst part. That's the best part to some extent. And the worst part is that our best players are coming out in interviews and saying, we are a very good team, but to prove that we are good, we need to win trophies. To be called world class, I need to win trophies. Saka has said it, Rice has said it, Saliba has said it, Gabriel has said it. Arguably 4 of our best players in the team overall. And if they leave, I don't know what's gonna happen. I genuinely am afraid to think even what's gonna happen. Because Arsenal need currently a rebuild for the rebuild when we started the rebuild 5 years ago. We need a rebuild for the rebuild about the rebuild. As wild as it sounds. And I'm kind of scared to think about this. Because for Arsenal, it took a decade to replace Patrick Vieira with Thomas Partey. It has taken us now how long did it take us to... it's been 4 years almost. We haven't replaced Aubameyang. It took us, I don't know how long to even replace our defenders in general. With the fact that we dealt with players like Sanderos, Giroud, Stepanov, Squillaci, Lichtsteiner, Chambers, Rob Holding, Gibbs... To some extent, Bellerin, but Bellerin has a disclaimer before the injury. He was fantastic to some extent. And players like that, Suarez, of course, Socrates, David Luiz, Mustafi, and players like that. Like, we dealt with all those to get here. It took us 2 decades to go from invincible, proper centre-back pairing of Sol Campbell and Torre and everything, from Tony Adams and players like that, to go to Saliba and Gabriel. It took us a decade to go from Alexis to Saka to have someone to somewhat decently high level. Like, how wild is that? Like, it takes us legit 5 to 10 years to replace our key roles. And with Arsenal, every single time it's like this. We go in circles because when we have attack in place, our midfield is broken. While we fix our midfield, our attack gets broken down. Then we shift our attention to fix our attack, then defense breaks down. While we're fixing the defense, then our attack again breaks down. And every single time we go in these circles, and it's never finished. It's never a finished end product who can actually win trophies. I'm not gonna lie. Leicester have won the league before Arsenal, by the way. In the last 20 years, Leicester have won more leagues than Arsenal. How wild is that? Like, think about it. Leicester have won the league. Holy crap. Holy crap. Robbie used to be a real Arsenal fan. Nah, I'm not gonna speak ill of other people, other channels, and how they do things, but definitely feels like to some extent some people have sold out for the pound. Heard we are charged by FA. We talked about this yesterday with the fact that our players surrounded the referee and everything. They are basically petty losers. Let's just put it that way. Man, it's time to bring Henry out of retirement. That's what it feels like. To be honest, if we brought Thierry Henry out of retirement, he actually would be better than most of our attackers. That's the sad part in all of this. You see him do like skill drills, when he's the coach, play in the training with the team. He still schools all the teams. He actually is that good that he could still play on somewhat semi-professional level these days and still school everyone. That's how good he is. And yeah, it's weird. It's very annoying to see Arsenal in such a position we are in right now. It's heartbreaking given that because I always will have in mind the picture that what Arsenal used to be. Like, you know, your Tony Adams, your Lawrence, your Gilberto Silva, of course, who else? Reyes, may he rest in peace, Henry, Bergkamp, Ljungberg, Pires, even Ashley Cole to some extent, even though he's a sellout and he is hated by Arsenal fan base. At the time, the best left back arguably Premier League has ever seen and everything. Even to that, it's just... The thing is, when you see that big team, when you see the Invincibles and everything, you realize that at some point there will be a fall off. Your team is gonna get worse. The thing is, you at the same time expect the team will do the right things to build the club back up, to get to the same level once again. But we are now 21 years have passed, and we have been nowhere near being to the same level we used to be 21 years ago. Nowhere near. Nowhere near. And that's what's the sad in all of this, and that's what's breaking my heart as an Arsenal fan. Because, yeah, I'm getting kind of emotional, I'm not gonna lie. Guess it's 3 randoms for January time to... I don't know. I don't want panic signings as well. That's the big thing. I don't want panic signings as well. We miss Edu. Edu is not even coming back. He already apparently has signed a deal with Marianakis and his group, because Edu gonna be the CEO of 3 teams. 3 teams combined. Portuguese team, Nottingham Forest and Olympiacos, of course. Who, by the way, are doing quite decently in Europa League. Give Henry the number 10, we dominate everyone. But seriously, will Arsenal sign a striker that... I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, when basically... no. Well, we might sign a striker, but based on how reports are saying, in summer. In summer, when basically it doesn't matter to many extents. Because... I don't even want to say what I was going to say. Big up Arsenal Manic, be excited. Oh, fuck me. Be excited. Edu said this, be excited, just before this motherfucker together with Arteta, sorry for swearing, signed Raheem Sterling on loan. Genuinely. He said be excited just before he signed Raheem Sterling together with Mikel Arteta on the deadline day. Then he has the nerve to say, oh, it took me 10 minutes to talk with Raheem to understand that he's gonna be here. Raheem comes out and says, you're gonna see the best of me. Yet when he plays, he misses from, again, like Havertz, from 2 yards out, empty net over the bar. Like, what is that? If that's the best of you, like, I don't want to see you ever again. Like, serious talk. Be excited. And you know what makes this even more pisses me off? We have a mural painted outside the Emirates on a house wall of Josh fucking Kroenke. What has he done to deserve that picture on the wall? Generally, there's a house, right? And the whole side wall is generally face of portrait of Josh Kroenke. What has he done to deserve such a thing? You have murals outside the Emirates of Win the Dog, of Havertz, of I don't know who else is there, of Jover for our set piece coach and everything. What have they done to deserve such memorabilia at the club? To some extent. Why there is nothing like that for Sol Campbell, Tony Adams, Winterburn, all of the greats Arsenal used to have? Why there are not none of those? Why there's none of, for example, George Graham? Why? Like, seriously, why? Why not? Like, we put all these... Win the Dog. What has he done at Arsenal? Just shitting on the training pitch or what? Maybe that's why Tomiyasu is injured. He slips all the time on wing shit when he tries to train and run. We are basically a community center. We just take all the old guys and retirement and retired people from other teams, you know, Havertz, Jesus, Zinchenko, Sterling, all them, man. They can play. No, they definitely can play. Definitely. Oh no, although looking at Bergkamp when he does interviews, he's not in shape. I'm not gonna lie. And Robo, according to you, what can make our team right now to compete well? Well, first of all, new ownership, new manager, and proper signings. 3 things. If we are talking in terms of Arteta is staying, Kroenke is staying, and what signings. So, if we are not including the outgoings, right, that should be sold, we need left winger, right winger, number 10, number 8, left back, goalkeeper, and a striker. At least one. I'm gonna go with the minimal requirements, we need at least one. So we need at least 7 signings. 7. So that means we need to sell about 4 or 5 as well. If we sell 4 or 5, we need to bring about 3 or 4 else in. So overall we need about 10 signings just for Arsenal to get the team to level so we can compete on all fronts in consistent basis. Because Arteta last season lucked out his season pretty much almost till the end without getting injuries to any of his main guys. At some point, the penny had to drop and we had to get injuries. And it has happened right now. We are getting injured to our key players. And by the way, we are getting injured to those players who have no backups. Saka, Odegaard, Saliba. I still don't know if Saliba is gonna play, by the way. That is also still a question. Arteta should get worst manager of the decade. He's not definitely of the decade, but in Arsenal's last, it's not that hard, to be honest. Because the owners have no ambition. We got Ruben. But yeah, the club has no ambition. The ownership has no ambition. Kroenke said himself, I didn't buy Arsenal to win trophies. The infamous quote. And we are living by it. There's no ambition, no fight, no determination. And the biggest thing is, because for me, is the fact that Kroenkes are happy with sub 4 because they get the Champions League money, TV revenue money, and everything. Because as soon as they basically buy a striker. They basically buy the necessary players, likely even 3-4 necessary players in the key areas. There is no place to hide for them. Because they have backed the manager, they have given him money. That is first. Second of all, manager has gotten the player he needs in all the key positions and everything he was lacking. So ultimately, if he fails, Arteta needs to go, and ownership also will be held accountable for that. Because if Arteta goes, Kroenke lose their shield, who protects them all the time. And then all the attention will be turned to Kroenke's. And they don't want that. They generally don't want that. Resign long term from last season, should have done the bring in Godspeed. Dude, I still cannot believe that Arteta is on 15 million a year. 15 million a year. That's insane. But when you see how they're handling issues of signing at the club doesn't have money, I really wonder what the CEO of the club, Kroenke, is thinking in his brain. We have the money. That is the big thing. We have the money. Because there is no reason for us not to. If we are going for Zubimendi, 51 million, allegedly for Watkins, 50, 60 million, that just shows that we have the money. We genuinely have the money to spend. We are just not doing it. Last summer, I still don't believe, as much as I'm saying we had to sell to buy, because we sold ESR, we bought Calafiori, we sold Nketiah, we bought Merino. I still kind of don't buy into this crap that we need to sell to buy. We have never been that club. We have never been in a situation where Arsenal is selling just to buy players. We always have had the money. So I think we are just not spending. And I think Kroenke is also have, to some level, grown sick and tired of Arteta wasting the money. Because they have given him nearly 800 million. And Arteta is begging them for 4 more signings for big money. Around 200-300 million combined. I would assume so. Because, let's be real, strikers, 70 million. Right? 70 million. Nico Williams, which Arteta allegedly runs really well. 50-60 million. That's 130. We need to sign we most likely will sign 2 more players. That will give us 250-300 million. And Kroenke don't want to sanction that until Arteta proves that he can win something. And it doesn't look like Arteta is going to win anything this season once again. And so at the end of the season, there might be some very uncomfortable discussions in terms of Arteta getting sacked. Because I'm going to say this, if you haven't already, by the way, smash a thumbs up, subscribe, and all that, and leave your thoughts down in the live chat. But ultimately, again, I'm going to say this. I was in the live streams today, and I already heard big streamers, 100k subs and more, and nearly to that, talking about banners coming out with Arteta out, Kroenke is out, like it was under Wenger. Banners, airplanes over the Emirates with banners, fans punching each other up and everything. We are getting to that point where we're gonna get again really toxic in the fan base. There will be no voice of reason. You will have to it's gonna be one side of the pond or the other. One side of the fence or the other. You won't be able to sit on the fence. It's gonna be one or the other at the end of the day. We are getting to that point once again, and it could get ugly real quick. Yeah, money. Scrooge McDuck. But he have to buy someone who can make... He has to, that's the thing, he has to. But Arteta says, see, we are trying everything we can. Well, if you were trying everything you can, you probably would have gotten Kvaratskhelia. You probably would have gotten someone proper in. But no, everything just flies right under your nose. Because Arteta preaches making the best of the market, finding unique opportunities. Kvaratskhelia was there. Where is he now? Oh, right, he's at PSG. Arsenal didn't even look at his direction. Never seen a single link with him this January. But if we have money, why can't they sign us? That's the thing. Arteta is saying we are trying everything we can. And I read as well that Arteta is looking at a specific profile. I hate that word, but he's looking for a specific profile type of player. Specific profile. If we go 3 back on 1 problems, I think if we go 3 at the back, quite a few problems would be resolved. Exactly. Money. Big up Justine. Big up Justin. Okay, leaving that aside, if they bring in Nico Williams and the striker, do you see improvement on the team? Yes. I think we will see improvement in terms of output. Performances, not so sure, because Arteta is really stubborn and adamant in his ways how he wants to play. So the playstyle could be the same, because we are still to this day creating chances. We just cannot get them on target or in the net. And mostly that's thanks to Kai Havertz, obviously. So I think if we get a striker in those positions, we actually could score some goals. If we get a striker and a winger who can create for himself and doesn't rely on others to create for him. So that would be the case. The issue still is for me that Arteta is very stubborn. And he doesn't make the system to fit the players. He buys the players to fit the system he wants to play. He has it basically all backwards. Yep, the attack won't be boring anymore. We haven't had a new attacker in the team for 2 years. We have the same attack, no imagination. If you count Sterling as a new attacker, go get checked. Sorry. If we have someone who can finish and score clinical goals, exactly. I know that most likely won't save our season as well. We're gonna be out of Carabao Cup and the Premier League, maybe a Champions League at some point. We will see. Time only will tell. It might not get us over the line, but it would put us in a very good position for next season. Because in summer we could actually focus on some other areas and on outgoings to get maybe better players in. It just basically all requires a balance in the team. Because the way I see things, our team is very unbalanced. In all the places, in attack, in midfield and defense. It's quite unbalanced. Maybe defense is the most stable one, but our attack and midfield definitely is very unbalanced. But if we have money, why can't they? That's the thing. They want specific type of profile, as Arteta is saying. Specific player, unique player, specific profile, specific position. He's thinking of someone who can play for Chelsea and Man City. Probably. If he thinks about that, we should get KDB. De Bruyne used to play for Chelsea and City. Might as well get him then, huh? Might as well get him then. Yes, here they are having buy any striker. Now it's time to buy. We had to buy striker. We should have bought striker when we bought Havertz. And that was the thing. The Havertz signing was the signing which basically will be the reason why Arteta will succeed, or will be the reason for his demise. And ultimately, currently, it's the reason why for his demise. Let's just put it that way. We needed a striker right when we basically sold Aubameyang, let's be real. And he decided to replace Aubameyang with Jesus, which clearly is not good enough. So we are where we are right now. Osimhen was free to sign Nico Williams, who else? Lookman, Sane, Olmo. Yeah. Quite a few players were free, we just didn't sign them. Arsenal don't sign usually good free agents, or them at all. Very rarely we do sign free agents, do we? I'm not sure why Arsenal is doing this to fans. Well, they only care about the money. We have some of the most expensive tickets in the Europe alone. Second or third most expensive tickets, memberships, tours, and everything in the European football. Seriously. Same tour that for Arsenal, cost about 17 to 20 grand, pounds wise, right? Costs 900 euros in Santiago Bernabeu at Real Madrid. Seriously. That's how wild it is. Big up Tony, big up. Heck, even Quaradona was free. Yeah, we signed Marmoush. We had chances to sign. We haven't signed anyone. That's the sad part in this. Nico Williams is burned. Even if he is, are we signing him? Where is he then? If you are here now, Arteta fan, okay. Marlon is not having it. He's here with smoke, and if you are Arteta in person, he's gonna throw some hands. Verbally, obviously. Not physically, but verbally. He is not the biggest fan. And it doesn't look like Arsenal are doing anything, because there are no updates on Arsenal whatsoever. Ben White, nothing. Fabrizio, has he tweeted something? No, he hasn't. Saudi Pro League transfer window has now officially closed until summer. So ultimately we are free. There's no chance we are selling anyone to Saudi. Let's see, anything regarding Arsenal. Jorginho is not leaving. And anything here? Well, Nothing. Nothing. People begging for Watkins handing in transfer request. Lol. People are interesting. But of course, don't worry, guys. Guys, don't worry, because I know we haven't signed players and we are not doing that great. We are not signing a striker. But we have win the dog. And to make things better, don't worry, guys. Be interested, guys. Don't worry, guys. You will see this, guys. Squeeze the lemon, guys. We have new merch out. Have you bought the new merch? Big question for everyone. New merch came out yesterday. Vintage vibes. Adidas times Arsenal Terrace Icons collection. £100 for that jacket. £100. Anyone getting it? Anyone? Kroenke is 19 years at Arsenal. Arsenal 19 years, no Premier League champion. It's not a coincidence, is it? They are not football people. Whoever sold out Arsenal to these Muppets, shame on you. To be honest, they slowly bought everyone out. We had Arsenal at some point was partially also fan owned, but they bought all that out, if I'm not mistaken. But that was a long time ago. And on top of that, we used to have three people. We had Usmanov, we had Giazidis, Kroenke, and someone else. I'm forgetting his name. And they bought everyone out. They genuinely bought everyone out, single-handedly. Why cannot buy a striker when money is there? Well, go ask them that. AFTV transfer. We gonna. There's still 3 days in transfer window, February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. There's gonna be a live stream for that as well. Petit come out of retirement. Dude, he would two-foot everyone. We're not happy about this, what it is Arsenal is doing right now. We tried about it. Did nothing in the window. It's unbelievable, even by the standards of these crooks. Kroenke is out to get Arteta out. Exactly. There are still 3 days left in the window, so maybe we could do something, but it doesn't just... I have no trust in the club whatsoever. That's the thing. Who give... You say this, right? But for top Gooners, they eat this up. 100%. Next game against City, it's at Emirates. This merchandise will be sold out. 100%, because as soon as the new merch drops, there is extra influx of top Gooners in the armory. They instantly gets purchased out. They're gonna make the money, and that's what Kroenke is all about. Making money. Man, if I was in a room with Kroenke and Arteta, dude, that would be shouting match and a half. Right now it's time to bring Ronaldo, dude. He's no chance whatsoever. But anyways, I think on that note, I genuinely believe that on that note, I'm gonna end today's stream. I've been live for over an hour and a half, which is very uncharacteristic for me, by the way, because I'm never live for this long. But yeah, if you haven't already, smash thumbs up, subscribe if you're new around here. If you haven't still, leave your thoughts down in the comments below. So yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I'm losing my voice as well. I can feel it in myself. So take care, stay safe, have a nice evening. Tomorrow there's a stream for Arsenal versus Man City preview. We're gonna talk about that. Maybe Arsenal will have signed someone, who bloody knows. God knows if we have. Time only will tell, of course. Would be nice if I woke up tomorrow and saw that Arsenal have signed Osimhen or someone like that. Would be kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, for today, I am out. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Take care, stay safe, and see you all tomorrow. Peace. Kroenke is out.